I know the Patriots have won 7 in a row, but it might be more surprising that the Bruins have won 6 in a row. This was supposed to be a lottery team, like number 1 pick kind of team. Here they are, second in the Atlantic Division. Now it's November, but we're 2.5 weeks away from American Thanksgiving, which is when everybody knows the benchmark. If you're in the playoff picture at American Thanksgiving, chances are you're going to be in the playoff picture when the playoffs start. And that's where the Bruins are right now. A nice win on Saturday, again, in Toronto, against a red-hot Leafs team that had won 3 in a row, scoring goals for fun. The Bruins went in there, scored 5, won 5-3. Fraser Minten puts the game on ice, the former Leaf. Bruins keep winning that trade. And so how do you get to 6 in a row, man? How do you get to 6 in a row with this Bruins team? Who's the one that's stepping up? Right? Pastrnak, obviously, best player. McAvoy has been great recently. Zadorov has helped them out. But there's only one player there's only one Bruins player who the team is 8-1-0 with when he's in the lineup. Only one player. That's Hampus Lindholm. When he's out there on the ice for the Bruins, they win games. They are 8-1-0 this season when he's in the lineup. He makes a huge difference for them. And look, there's been a bunch of guys that have stepped up, right? Marat Husnudinov, for one, on the first line. Morgan Geekie has as many goals as Sidney Crosby does this year. He's third in the league in goals scored, right? 11 through 17 games. That's nuts. But it is a night and day difference when Hampus Lindholm is out there on that second pairing versus when he's not. And on that second power play unit versus when he's not. Because your alternative for a left-handed, left shot, offensively creative defenseman out there is Mason Lowry. And we saw that they won 5 in a row when Lowry was sitting up in the 9th floor for 5 straight games. He did have himself a good night the other night when the Bruins won again in his return to the lineup. He was pretty good. Mason Lowry was, that is. But Hampus Lindholm makes a humongous difference on this team. And they become so much more sound defensively when he's out there. That's the thing. Obviously, Lindholm has made a career by being an excellent two-way defenseman and being a guy who can run a power play unit, move the puck very nicely, has had a really good shot, still has a pretty good shot for a defenseman, can create offense for you. But what's probably underappreciated in his game is how much more sound the Bruins play defensively when he's out there. And this was not the only problem a season ago. But when you look at a team that at one point was 4-6 this year, 3-6 this year, to see that they're 8-1-0 with him in the lineup, and that when he missed 65 games last year, it just so happened to be the worst season for the Bruins in 20 years, the first time they missed the playoffs in 9 seasons. At some point, it's not a coincidence. At some point, you have to sit there and say, man, Hampus Lindholm is a very important part of this team. You know, he's not going to be one of the guys on the pillars on Causeway Street. You're not going to be able to buy his jersey in the Bruins Pro Shop because his name isn't Pastrnak or McAvoy. But he is absolutely one of the most important players on this team and should probably be getting some more love from Bruins fans. I don't know how that manifests itself, but he's right there as a foundational piece next to those two guys, next to McAvoy and Pastrnak. And you're getting good contributions from other guys who are normally forgotten about or normally negative influences. I'm talking guys like a Husnudinov, Marat Husnudinov, a guy like a Husnudinov, a guy like a Zadorov, a guy like a Geekie who doesn't get talked about a lot. You know, Pavel Zacha's been solid. Casey Middlestat's been better when he's been in the lineup. But Hampus Lindholm is right there as one of your most important pieces. And tip of the cap where it's due, it's a hell of a deal by Don Sweeney, man. If he's staying healthy, which he wasn't at the beginning of this year, and he definitely wasn't last year, and wasn't in the 22 postseason, which was 2 months after you got him, 1 month after you got him. But he's on a cap hit of about $6.5 million for another couple years. That's very nice for a defenseman of his caliber. Very nice. And all of a sudden, this Bruins team is fun. He's a big reason why. They're fun to watch, which I didn't think at any point this season they would be fun to watch, even if they were making a playoff push, you know? But they are. They're fun. They're storylines every game. There was the McAvoy shift at the end of the Ottawa game, scoring with 5 seconds left in overtime. There's Fraser Mitten going back up to Toronto and making them pay by putting the game on ice. And there's the Murat Husnudinov storyline. There's the Morgan Geekie storyline. There's fun things. Zadorov nailing guys and fighting guys and getting under the skin of New Yorkers, man. Like, this is a fun team right now. And they continue to win. And they're taking advantage of, I talked about Toronto was good going into this game. They lost again last night. They've been up and down this season. Ottawa's been down this season, and they have Brady Tkachuk out for a while. Obviously, speaking of Tkachuk out and being an Atlantic Division team that's down this season, how about the Florida Panthers, last in the Atlantic? Tampa Bay has not lived up to their potential to this season thus far. And so at the top, in the Atlantic Division, you've got the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins, 1 and 2. Just how it should be, which highlights how much this new NHL schedule sucks. Because after Tuesday, the Bruins will play the Leafs one more time. And after this month, the Bruins will play the Habs one more time. That sucks. These teams need to be playing more than 3 times a year. Come on, especially when it's matching up like this. I don't give a shit if they play the Ducks home and away. I don't care. I don't care if they play the Minnesota Wild twice. I don't care how many times they play the Islanders. Play Montreal 6 times. Play Toronto 6 times. Enough of that. Play the Panthers 6 times. Shit, we know we could use the wins at this point. Play the Panthers 6 times. It's like 4 wins in the bag. Because you already lost one to them this year. But this has been a fun week and a half with this Bruins team. And, my main concern when they were winning at the beginning of the season, when they started 3-0, was I was like, this isn't sustainable. But the way they're winning the last 2 weeks here, that is sustainable. Okay, because their goalies have not been playing out of their minds by any stretches. They've been playing well. Their D-core's been playing well. Their advanced numbers don't look great defensively still. No one's going crazy. It's not like Pavel Zacha's on pace to have a 35-goal season or anything. Morgan Geekie's on pace to have about a 40-goal season. He's coming off a 33-goal season. Fraser Mitten's giving you enough, man. He's giving you great time defensively. Charlie McAvoy, turnaround? Sure. Who couldn't have saw that coming off of a major injury last year? The things that they're doing right now is sustainable. Are sustainable. They're winning in a sustainable fashion. And if they take both of these games against Toronto, look out, man. Look out. By the way, who has Toronto's first round pick this year? Who's got him? Well, they have Brandon Carlo. We got a guy who scores against them, Fraser Mitten, and their first round pick next year. How lovely is that? Is Hampus Lindholm the most important part of this Bruins team? Let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We come at you every weekday, noon Eastern time on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts as well. Also, check out the Garden Level podcast with myself and Dan Conlon. We are recording again tomorrow, a little Tuesday drop for you every week. We're talking exclusively Bruins from a couple of absolute diehards. But thank you for tuning in. This is your lunchtime alternative to Boston Sports Talk Radio. It is the Wicked Boston Show with myself, Cam Stuart.